Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and I want to talk about this story. This is a headline that is nothing more than very poor journalism. Why members of the XRP community are capitulating at an alarming rate. So clearly, this is a lack of critical thinking and the use of adjectives and phrases like capitulating and at an alarming rate is nothing more than to get you to click on the article. It goes on to say that the XRP Army is growing smaller by the day. Now, this is per a new report that was just published, and it's a joint project by the Thai and eToro. And in the portion here, page 44, it talks about the XRP Army shrinks modestly quarter over quarter. Now, you have to understand that this analysis only uses Twitter, only uses Twitter. So they have this proprietary partnership and API to generate the sentiment. And I can take you to this article here, February 2019, and you can see that Twitter keeps losing its monthly users. In fact, just a couple of months after that, we have this Forbes article where Twitter is losing users for a 6-year period. They have been in decline. So this decline is maybe representative of a lot more than just the XRP Army. Let's take a look at Twitter in terms of the monetizable active users. Here we're going to start with February 2019. They had 126 million. You go to July 26, they then reported 139 million, up slightly. October 2019, up slightly again at 145 million. And then February 6, 2020, Twitter reports it now has 152 million monetizable daily active users. So that is a really small increase of just 26 million over the course of a 12-month period for their daily active users that are monetizable. And if I tell you where probably most of the XRP Army is, it's on YouTube, because you cannot get everything you need to know about Ripple, the company, and XRP, the digital asset, on Twitter. Yes, everybody's there. We use it. We love it. But when you have to go in deep with your knowledge and really understand what it is you're investing in, this is the platform that everybody is using. The new stats for YouTube just came out, and it's kind of interesting. 18 to 34-year-olds are who are watching, and this is exactly my sweet spot too on my channel. Over 100 countries and 80 different languages, and 1 billion hours watched daily. Unbelievable. And you can see here over 2 billion users. So what do I think is going on? Well, I think that there isn't a loss of the XRP Army. I just think they are really migrating over to other platforms where they can get more in-depth information. And it's so funny, too, that on Saturday the 18th, here we have eToro publish their quarterly report, and XRP is the most popular cryptocurrency on their platform. I'm going to share with you just my personal numbers. Over the last 365 days, in terms of my reach, my impressions are up 50%. My views up 63%. I'm not special. I'm really not. I can show you lots of the XRP community YouTube members who have very significant subscriber and viewership increases. Now, when we talk about the subscribers, here in that same report, they spotlight Nicholas Merton of Data Dash. He's great. He's been on YouTube for years. I think I've watched him for at least 3 years. And they very much highlight always that he's the largest cryptocurrency YouTube channel with over 330,000 subscribers. Now, it sounds very impressive, but what you really need to pay attention to is the views on each video. So here we are. He has actually 336,000 subscribers. But when you look at his views, they are the same as most of the big YouTubers in the XRP community. 21,000, 20,000, 26, 21, 24, 34, 16, 17,000, 28, 24. So the subscribers, that doesn't mean anything. It's how many views do you get on an individual video. That is what matters. Okay, I'm moving on. This is my favorite image right now. It is on-demand liquidity, of course. It uses the digital asset XRP. We're on the Ripple website, and I love it because I see they have put the Japanese yen and the Thai baht into the corridors for on-demand liquidity. So, do we have these actually officially announced yet? No, we don't. But boy, do I keep chasing it. And I want to tell you why the corridors are so important. Here we have some wire transfer fees from the top US banks. And you can see that Bank of America is charging $35 to $45 for those outgoing international transfers. Chase, $40 to $50. Citibank, $10 to $35. Wells Fargo, $45, and so on. You have to realize that these banks are never going to be able to keep this business if they don't change. And the business that I'm talking about is moving away from correspondent banking partners because the cost to do an international transaction in a way that is without XRP and the Ripplenet technology is just too expensive. You can see here that the cost per international payment transaction is around $25 to $35. 34% of that is in the nostro vostro liquidity. This is the capital that is tied up, that is in the pre-funded account sitting around the whole globe with those correspondent banking partners. And then you've got the administrative cost, 27%, that back-end cost. Much of that is trying to manage this nostro vostro liquidity. What needs to happen is you have to see a reduction of 90 to 95% in order to bring it down to $1 to $2 for a transfer to, as it says here, to remain competitive. This is a SWIFT document, by the way. So how are you going to do that? You're going to do it by using Ripplenet and the digital asset XRP so that you can eliminate this. Now, people tell me all those corridors aren't going to make a difference. They're not going to have any impact at all on the price. Let me just show you one place to reference in case you are getting duped into that narrative. This is a question that was asked of David back in 2018. If a large amount of banks were to adopt XRapid and start using XRP, how would that impact the token's value? And you can see that he starts off with, well, it could create a significant source of additional demand. You can see that in reading this, and I'll put a link to it in the description below, there has to be these piles of XRP to match the times when the outbound payments are made. So essentially eliminating those nostro accounts, and the banks then, or even the money transfer companies, can then tap into these piles that will be all over the globe so that they can execute on moving that money. So let's get now back to that one corridor I just can't stop trying to chase down, and that is Thailand. You can see here that I just decided today to tweet BitCub. They are the on-demand liquidity partner for Ripple in Thailand. And I had asked, we had quite a conversation online with their chat. And basically the questions that I kept asking, I kept getting the answer back. I'm sorry, that's confidential, I can't say. I'm sorry, it's confidential, I can't say. And eventually it got down to the point where they kept telling me to just keep in tune with their social media. And I said, okay, well, I hope you go live soon with XRP on-demand liquidity with the Siam Commercial Bank, and that I would watch their social media. And the response was, in reference to going live soon, we hope so too. We appreciate your feedback. So I think it's coming, everybody, but I still don't have an official announcement to bring you. But I am going to tell you that I'm going to go on a live stream for the first time and toast with a Perrier-Jouët Rosé champagne with y'all when it does happen. Okay, this is, gosh, another reflection of our times. We're very much going into a virtual world. This is the Crypto Asia Summit, and they are going to do a virtual summit, and it'll go online, and it is free. The event happens May 18th through the 23rd, and there are a limited number of free spots, so you should reserve your ticket ASAP. I'll put a link down in the description. There's a robust lineup. Yeah, CZ is going to be a speaker. There's Roger, and there's Maddie, and there's Jimmy Song. I know he's a maxi, but he's a really smart guy, and I like listening to him. He always has very good information to bring. So, and the last thing I want to talk about is I was on a one-on-one with Jerry Hall, and this occurred on the Chain website, and it aired yesterday. And I just think if you're interested in knowing my 6 techniques on how I do my research, I have some techniques that I shared with everybody. So I hope you have a chance to watch it. I'll put a link to that as well. Okay, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff. So this last Friday, they changed out the big lantern that hangs in Sensoji Temple, which is the oldest temple in Tokyo. And they do change this big lantern out every 10 years. And it was quite, I don't know, I guess I feel quite sad, because usually it's a big event and lots of people watch the changing of the lantern, but this year it was, empty. But it did get changed out, and it got me to thinking, there are just so many lantern festivals in Japan every month. This one is in Akita, that's up north, and they have a very interesting tradition where they display and compete against each other by balancing these large combinations of huge lanterns. You can see how many there are, and they balance them on their shoulder, and they balance them on their forehead, and then they are entertaining people as well. But there is some competition for sure to be the winner of that display. Look at how many people participate. And then there's another really beautiful lantern festival in Nagasaki. This one is just super beautiful in terms of its visual aesthetics. But the one I think really I love the most is the one that occurs in Sunan, which is in Niigata. And these lanterns are actually thrown up into the air and float with the heat from the flame. So beautiful. So if you're looking for a lantern festival in Japan, I'm just sure whatever month you come, you'll be able to find one somewhere. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.